right, good morning everyone. My name is Corey. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. As the disclaimer goes, I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own research and do not invest in anything you're not willing to lose or hold for a very long time. So without further ado, let's get into today's news. It looks like we have broken out of the triangle. We are moving to the upside for the second day, finally crossing that beautiful 20-cent mark. And hopefully we won't see too much capitulation. It looks like we may see something go down back to like 18.5, 19 cents before we continue to move to the upside. But it is exciting to see that we are up another 8% for the day so far, and hopefully we can continue that trend. First thing that I want to take a look at today is free markets, TQN at TechQN. I'm actually shocked cruise lines are rallying 23% today. They are shut down or canceled cruises for the week still. What on earth makes investors think they will be making money for earnings on this? Well, I don't think they are. What I think is happening due to this market influx we're having, up another 800 points for the day, this dead cat bounce that most people are calling. It looks like the technical indicators and traditional news and all of the signs point to a continued downturn in our economic situation. Things haven't quite improved. Our major manufacturing, airlines, travel, everything is still closed down. Small businesses are still closed down. So where is all of this? Where is all of this money coming from? Well, I think it's being pumped into the markets from the Fed. This is the Fed buying stocks, bonds, and ETFs in order to keep the market looking good for investors. But I do think that there is more moves to the downside coming. This is our 3 months. We've only 3 months into this whole thing, from our peak around 29.5 and then our low so far at about 18.4. So it looks like we are moving up a little bit, but ultimately I think from this point we are going to be moving further to the downside. Okay, so Ripple and XRP. So we've got 180 million XRP have been wired as Ripple sees ODL payment volume surge. While ODL remittance payments are showing a rise in volume, Ripple and anonymous investors together have wired almost 180 million XRP over the past 24 hours. So what this is saying simply is that there is some volume moving across the XRP ledger more and more each day as this economic situation persists. I have a theory that these Ripple payments that are being passed around are actually like government wallets, and this is how they are leveling the playing field by correcting everybody's debt. Each person is going to have a significant amount of debt, as we know now, and this is how they are bringing everybody to zero. They're allocating XRP per debt that they have in order to get them on a level playing field with each other again. So far, we've moved up 35% from a recent 15-cent low. It looks like we are continuing, as I said, to that upside, hopefully. Moving on here, we've got April 7th, super pink moon will be the biggest, brightest of 2020. I don't know what kind of conspiracies people are in, but a lot of the things that I've heard is that the moon is going to be the sign of the bull run, the start of the bull run. All of those things. So look out today. It's going to be the biggest, brightest supermoon that we've had in a long time. And if there's any way that the markets are connected to this, then we're looking for a move to the upside, hopefully. I enjoy kind of space and things like that as well. So really, this is just to show I will be outside checking this thing out, probably taking some cool pictures. All right, anyway, moving on to that. The Daily Hodl, Ripple expanding XRP product roadmap, crypto startup hints at future 3 new job openings. All right, Ripple's unrelenting hiring spree continues, with the company seeking to fill numerous new high-ranking positions involving the crypto asset XRP. The San Francisco payments company is now searching for a director of product management at Spring, Ripple's XRP-focused fundraising and development arm. The job application indicates Spring is looking to expand its role in growing the XRP ecosystem. Well, even in these economic times where we can't figure out how to hire anyone, we've got Ripple pushing through, hiring people where they need. It looks like a strong and continued company move, and I'm happy to see that. So, I have a quote here from the Dalai Lama, and let's break things up a little bit. As a human being, I am committed to the promotion of what I call basic human values, by which I mean especially compassion. Nurturing the compassionate seed within us and acting out of this innate capacity are the keys to fulfilling our basic aspiration to happiness. And all I need to say is, if you're searching for happiness, I think the key to this is to looking outside of yourself, finding a person in need. It always feels good to help another person who is unable to help themselves. All right, back into the Ripple story. JP Morgan announced today that its new electronic FX trading and pricing engine designed to speed up trade executions for clients is now live in Singapore with support from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. I'm not going to get into the article. It is a short article about speeding up JP Morgan's FX transactions. I just liked the fact that they were partnered by the support of the Monetary Authority of Singapore, who we know is working hand in hand with Ripple. And we know that JP Morgan's JPM coin and Ripple were the only two solutions in the IMF's global packet for countries to start building CBDCs. So it's great to see that JP Morgan is working hand in hand with people that are also working with the Ripple company and the XRP token. As we move on today, one of the big things that I wanted to show you was the impact that the Ripple and XRP ecosystem is having on the traditional internet. So we've got Ripple's Coil and Firefox want to improve web monetization. So this whole article goes on about how it's easy for us to send information back and forth across the web, how it's difficult for us to receive payments instantaneously the same way that we receive information, and how Ripple's Coil project and Firefox are working together to allow people to create their own works and get paid for them as others use them. So Mozilla actually has, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, Mozilla is actually using Coil with their Firefox reality. I actually didn't know this existed, but it is excellent. So you can use virtual reality to hop into this Firefox reality, and it allows you to experience virtual reality designed by users of the platform. And so Mozilla says, well, how do these users who are designing all this great content get paid? How do we, not allow them to have like an account? How do we not worry about needing to pay somebody every week? How can we hook this up so that as they work, they can just get paid? And that works by hooking up to Coil. Now, Coil is a new way to enjoy content. You can actually, if you're a blogger or if you're a website content creator, you write an article, well, you connect it to your Coil account, and that will pay you in XRP as people read. So you get paid instantly for your work, which is awesome. So a powerful aspect of Coil that is highly underestimated is the use of web monetized sites outside of Coil.com. Yes, Coil.com is a fantastic place to publish content, but it is not the only place that it can go. If you haven't already, it's a great idea to create your own self-hosted website, integrate Coil's meta tag, publish content, and then link that content to Coil.com. Well, that's exactly what I do every single time that I have my whole website is connected to Coil. Every single time that I post something or talk about something, it's connected to that Coil account, and then as people come and view it, I get paid micropayments based on the amount of time that they spend on the site, which is awesome. So that doesn't work for YouTube. As we know, if you go on YouTube, you've got to wait this infamous amount of time for 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 minutes of watch time, and then they decide, well, based on your visitors, you can get this percentage of money on the amount of money that we make off of your advertisers. So ultimately, you're just getting paid table scraps compared to what you're bringing in, the value that you're bringing in for YouTube. So how do you beat that? How do you get around that and start making all of that extra money for yourself? Well, there's Cinnamon Video. Cinnamon Video is an extension of Coil. It's basically like the Coil YouTube. And you can put your videos the same way you upload them to YouTube. You upload them to Coil, you create your account, and as people watch your videos and your content, you get paid in cryptocurrency. Instantaneously, it goes right to your Coil account. That account can then be traded on the open market, and you can buy groceries with the crypto you earned from the videos that you've got. almost instantly. So way better. You get about, let's say 99.9% of all of the money that comes in is profits for you. So the internet is changing, the movement of money is changing, and I love to see that Ripple and XRP are in the head of decentralizing the global platform for content creators and the movement of money for them. Another thing that Ripple is doing, is partnering up with, is Forte Gaming, creating a new economic creative opportunities for gaming. Essentially, it'd be like, if you've got those really cool in-game items that you found inside of your game and you want to sell them, you might be able to sell them right through the game to another user via this cryptocurrency. It'd be like if you play Fortnite, V-Bucks, it'd be like if you could take those V-Bucks that you've got and then sell them on the open market you could like transfer your V-Bucks into an exchange like Coinbase or Binance Exchange, sell those V-Bucks for cash, and then use that cash to go out and buy groceries. Or in game, you could be sitting in your game with your V-Bucks and then trade that cool gun that you got to another player. That player could send you V-Bucks. You take that V-Bucks, boom, send it to your online wallet, use your V-Bucks to pay for groceries at the store. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I don't know how, maybe even betting would work. Like if you're doing Call of Duty, you could get a group of people together on a map and like put up some XRP as a bet, and like the winner of that round gets all the XRP. Like, I don't know how it worked, but there are plenty of ways to think about transferring value person to person rather than having to go through a bank or some kind of financial institution. So that's really exciting. I love that. The last thing that I want to go over today is Accenture. Accenture has been around as we're talking about Accenture a lot and all of their partnerships. I just wanted to quickly go into what Accenture is, and then I Am Legion put together this great news article showing the timeline of Accenture being talked about, and it's on Coil.com. So as I read this, he's getting micropayments from Coil. So we're going to do that and show you what it's all about. So Accenture is a leading global professional services company providing a broad range of services in strategy and consulting, interactive technology and operations with digital capabilities across all of these services. So they have digital capabilities across all of their services. They employ 505,000 people, offices and operations in more than several countries. They're worth about $43.2 billion as of 2019. So Accenture has been talked about in the creation of CBDCs. They've been talked about in partnering with Microsoft for cross-border payments. Anytime that you hear Accenture, people are saying Ripple is involved, XRP is involved. And now I want to show everybody the work that I Am Legion has done and where we're seeing Accenture right out of Ripple's mouth. So Ripple, these are blurbs that Ripple puts on their website. So he's now screenshotted all of these and put them together. Ripple, Accenture entered into an alliance with Ripple in 2015. Ripple provides the only enterprise distributed financial technology to banks that enable faster cross-border payments, delivering real-time certainty for every settlement. Accenture at Hyperledger. So now we've got Accenture, Hyperledger, and Ripple. Accenture is a premier member of Hyperledger, an open-source collaborative effort created to advance cross-industry blockchain technologies, and sits on its board of directors. It is a global collaboration of more than 130 members, hosted by the Linux Foundation, including leaders in finance, banking, IoT, supply chain, manufacturing, and technology. Woo, that's a mouthful. All right, so we've got Accenture and R3. So we've got how many companies? We've got Accenture, we've got R3, we've got the Hyperledger consortium of 130 members. Excuse me. R3 is an enterprise software firm working with over 100 banks, financial institutions, regulators, trade associations, professional service firms, and technology companies to develop Corda. Corda is a distributed ledger platform designed specifically for financial services. In 2017, Accenture entered into an alliance with R3 and is a preferred implementation provider for its Corda platform. Okay, moving on. Now we've got Accenture, again, is a founding member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, EEA, and sits on its board of directors. The EEA connects Fortune 500 enterprises, startups, academics, and technology vendors with Ethereum experts to define enterprise-grade software capable of handling the most complex, highly demanding applications at the speed of business. Okay, we've got collaborations. Accenture entered into an alliance with the Digital Asset in 2016. Digital Asset brings 21st century technology to existing financial infrastructure with a particular focus on post-trading process. Okay, we've got Swift and Accenture outline a path to distributed ledger technology adoption with financial services. Sweden is going to test their CBDC, e-krona central bank digital currency on the Corda blockchain. Well, there's Corda, R3's Corda is partnered with Accenture right there. Today, Riksbank, the Swedish central bank, announced a trial for an e-krona targeted general public. The solution is developed by Accenture using the Corda Enterprise blockchain. Okay, now we've got the digital dollar project. So the digital dollar project was, you've probably heard about it in the recent news. When we were going to get our stimulus money from the government, they were deciding how we were going to receive those funds, and one of the things that they proposed but then took out of the bill was the digital dollar, and that bill was made into its own and then posted, and now it's called the Digital Dollar Project, leading the discussion on a U.S. central bank digital currency. So it'd be like as if the U.S. dollar went from paper to digital. The Digital Dollar Project is a partnership between Accenture and the Digital Dollar Foundation to advance exploration of a United States central bank digital currency. The purpose of the project is to encourage research and public discussion on the potential advantages of a digital dollar, convene private sector thought leaders and enactors, propose possible models to support the public sector. The project will develop a framework for potential practical steps that can be taken to establish dollar CBDCs. So we've got enabling cross-border high-value transfers using distributed ledger technologies. We've got Accenture SAP to use Corda for central bank real-time gross settlements. So today at CordaCon 2019, so this is in 2019, it was announced that Accenture and SAP have partnered with R3 to build a blockchain real-time gross settlement system. Central banks usually oversee RTGS with nearly instant one-to-one settlement of high-value transactions. The firm plans to create a distributed ledger technology platform which is interoperable with government-run payment gateways. Basically, all of this is doing is showing you the path for how major companies are working with Ripple, Corda, R3, Accenture, how they're all working together to come up with a digital framework for the transmission of currencies from one country to another, from one person to another. So now we've got new interoperability solutions. Consulting agent Accenture developed a two-way solution to transform enormous potential of existing distributed ledger platforms into a synchronized business process. How do we do that? Accenture and Ripple. The journey to real-time cross-border payments is sorry, my dog just walked in to say hi. Excuse me. Accenture, top 5 holders of international holdings. We've got Vanguard, BlackRock, Massachusetts, State Street, Capital Research, and all of them partnered Accenture. So that is some cool stuff. If you have been hearing about Accenture and you didn't know where it was all coming from, then thank you so much to I Am Legion for putting all this together, and I hope that he continues to put the pieces together for us with other companies, and as he does, I will bring these to the content of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I know it was a little later. I am actually at home with the kids for a week or two. Didn't get fired, didn't get let go, just doing some really cool things with the company, allowing us to rotate to make sure that we aren't all together at the same time, and we've got some backup crews, so that is exciting. So enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. Take a look at this price. Pray for the price to continue to rise. That's what we need. That's what we've been waiting for, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks so much.